What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters Allstar video, and in today's video we have some pretty exciting news to go over as Netmarble has released a short update over on the forum letting us know that we will be getting 4 new battle cards added into the unified card banner later on this evening. We will be getting 2 3PG finisher cards, one for Kim Kafwan as well as one for Goro Diamond. We're also going to be getting option cards for both of those characters. We're going to talk about that news, talk about the implications of starting this trend, and then talk about a few characters that we would like to see them do this for next. But before we get into all of that and more, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe, and hit the intro. Alright, you guys, so here we are over on the forums with the 720 new battle card announcement from Iori, and let's take a look at what this news has to offer us. So as you can see here, we are going to be getting 4 new cards added into the game later on this evening with a push update. So later on there will be a push update and we will be getting 4 new battle cards added onto the unified card banner, at which point they will open up that new slot that we have seen before, in which that you can put one of these 4 cards into that slot and you will have that extra rate up chance to get that specific card of your choice. Now, as far as the cards that are being added, we are getting new special cards for both Kim and Goro. This is something that has been long overdue. Both of these characters had fest versions of themselves released over the course of the past 6-7 months, and unfortunately upon their release they did not get 3PG finishers, so this looks like a make good on that situation for both of them, which is going to be something that a lot of people are going to be very happy about. This is all going to be positive news today, guys, which is something that I am very happy to say. So when it comes to these two characters, neither of them are going to be characters that are going to be uber powerful for PvE. These are usually going to be more of your PvP style characters. You could make a case for Goro in specific instances, and then with Kim, really the only time you'll use him in PvE really is going to be on your gold farm team, in which you really don't need a 3PG finisher. But I know a lot of PvP players out there are going to be very happy to see this, and they had gotten into a bad habit of releasing these fest characters specifically on the unified card banner without 3PG finishers for a while now, and we're going to talk about in today's video some characters that could use these cards or cards like these for themselves. But first, let's go ahead and focus on the news at hand. So this is going to be your art for both of these characters. One thing that you need to make sure that you realize here, they don't specifically state that the Goro 3PG is going to be good on the Christmas version. However, I'm 99% certain that it will be, considering the fact that I don't see why they would release a 3PG card for Goro if it wasn't going to be something that you could use on the only current fest version of that character. Time will tell, but I'm 99% certain that it will be viable on him. Now, as far as the option cards, as you can see here, we are going to be getting option cards for both of these characters as well. This is something they have done a lot in the past for specific characters, especially the Unified Fest banner characters. Now, we don't have confirmation on the effects of any of these cards. However, you can pretty much assume that there are going to be exclusive effects for both of these characters on these respective option cards. Time will tell on whether or not these are going to be something that are going to be really valuable on other characters as well. Of course, we have seen this happen before, especially with the Leona version of these types of cards in the past. That is still a very solid option card for a lot of different characters, not just Leona specifically. But of course, whenever they make these types of options, they are going to be designed with the specific character in mind, because you will get that other effect that is going to be exclusive to them. But that is pretty much what we know about these cards. Of course, they are all going to be 6-star cards, and we are going to be getting them later on tonight with a push update. But I wanted to take this opportunity today, being that we are talking about this and being that Netmarble has started this, because I think this is a really positive thing. I think that this is something they could do very regularly. I don't think option cards and battle cards really take a whole lot of effort. I'm sure that outside of the animations for these finishers, there really isn't a whole lot of other things that they need to do whenever they make these types of things. So I'm hoping that they get around to a lot more of these, but I want to go ahead and take a look at the current FES roster and talk about some characters that could really use 3PG options for them that would make them super valuable for free-to-play players out there who are still having trouble getting through things such as Immortals, where there's going to be a ton of rubies for free-to-play players out there to get a hold of and use on some of these limited banners or these collaborations. So I want to go ahead and highlight a few here. The first one I want to talk about is going to be this Winter Love Messenger Bijane. Now, Winter Love Messenger Bijane is really good and a solid character in her own right as it sits. If you guys have in fact not seen me use her as a leader to one team some of these Immortals in the past, that was several months ago that I did that. Even with this character at Awakening level 2, she is still super powerful in Immortals because of her leadership ability. The biggest thing that holds her back is she can't really take advantage of her own leadership skill because she doesn't have a 3PG. So if she gets a 3PG, this character would be a really solid free-to-play option, specifically for a leader for characters such as Gonitz. So that is the first character that really came to mind. I would love to see her get that type of support, because I do think that she would be a really good option for free-to-plays or budget players. Now, another character that I think would really benefit from this type of treatment is going to be Nest-style Kyo. Nest-style Kyo recently did get a buff over the course of the past several months. However, he is still not where he needs to be. A big part of the reason for that is because he doesn't have a 3PG option for him. So if they were to add one in for Nest-style Kyo, this character would end up becoming a very solid budget burn option. Now, he wouldn't necessarily be as good as a burn option for free-to-plays as K would be, because in my opinion, K is still going to be the best unified banner option for burn, but this is still a solid character in general, and a lot of people out there are a fan of him, and I think would be very happy to see him get a 3PG finisher. Now, speaking of burn characters, but not a character that is just going to be predicated upon burn, but Mian right here is going to be another character who would be very happy to have a 3PG finisher. Now, this character, when she released, had a lot of hype around her. A lot of people were really happy with the design. Unfortunately, she ended up with a 5PG finisher, and as you can tell from me never even leveling that thing up, yeah, I never use her, and part of the reason is because I just don't need to. I have other better options, but for free-to-play players, she would be a really good budget option for a burn character, as well as just a yellow attack type in general, or a character that can give you a little bit of option as far as Starlight. Now, of course, she doesn't apply Starlight, but of course, then again, beggars can't be choosers, and with a 3PG, this would be a really nice, good little character that could do some good damage for you in PvE. Now, another character or set of characters that could really use it, I'm going to lump a few together here, but any of the lady characters could desperately use a 3PG finisher. There are a lot of different lady characters in the game that are really good. So when we talk about those, of course, the first one that's going to always come to mind is going to be Lady Zero Original, because she is still cream of the crop for free-to-play unified banner characters. This is still a super hard-hitting, solid option for all of you guys out there that are on a budget. She just isn't going to have that option for a 3PG, unfortunately. So if they could get around to that for some of these ladies like her, or even if you take a look here at a character like Maxine, who is also a really good character that lacks a 3PG finisher, or then if you take a look even further here, there are going to be other options that are going to be your Lady Geeses of the world, which Lady Geese in general, you guys have heard me talk about her before. You've seen me do some pretty nice things in Guild Raid against Omega Rugal, using her as a free-to-play option to kind of show you guys an example of what you can do with her. If she had a 3PG finisher, she would be in a really strong position against him for free-to-play players. It's just that right now, unfortunately, she is hampered with a terrible 5PG finisher that really does her no favors. But if she were to get one, she would be in really good shape. And there's just a ton of characters in here that have never gotten 3PG finishers at the end of the day that could really use them. I mean, you could even look at a character here such as this Elizabeth. This Elizabeth is a wonderful option for free-to-plays for Starlight. It's just really unfortunate that her 5PG holds her back a little bit. So if she were to get a 3PG, She would be another character that would be in a really good position for all of you budget players out there. But I'm not going to get into all of these characters. I could talk about Alice, I could talk about any number of characters, but those are just some options that came to my mind if they want to continue this trend and do this more often. I think that this would be something that no one would complain about. It would just be a question of when they get around to specific characters, but definitely welcome news. I think that this is good stuff, you guys. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think about this news. Let me know if there's a specific Fest character that you would like to see get a 3PG that does not currently have one. I will be back with tomorrow's video breaking these cards down in detail once we know their effects. But until then, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.